Hey, hey, welcome to Mornings in the Word with Bold Faith Church. We are doing the chronological reading of the Bible. I am Fina Henry, and I am the director of Bold Life Groups. Welcome. If this is your first time, welcome, welcome. We are glad to have you. And if you have been with us this far, we appreciate you. Um, We are here every day from Monday to Friday doing this reading at 7 a.m. EST. And then on Saturday, we get together for the word and we get on a live Zoom talk afterwards. So please join us, like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out when we post all of this good stuff for you. Um, we appreciate you. Let's get into the reading. We are on day 121, and today we're reading 2 Samuel chapter 5, verse 1 to 10. And then we move on to First Chronicles chapter 11 and 12. So we'll be moving around a little bit. That's Second Samuel. We're first reading Second Samuel chapter 5 from verse 1 to 10. And then we move on to First Chronicles chapter 11 to 12. All right, let's get into this reading. First Samuel chapter 5. There we go. Um, then all the tribes of Israel went to David at Hebron and told him, "We are your own flesh and blood. In the past, when Saul was our king, you were the one who really led the forces of Israel. And the Lord told you, you will be the shepherd of my people Israel. You will be Israel's leader." So there at Hebron, King David made a covenant before the Lord with all the elders of Israel, and they anointed him king of Israel. David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years in all. He had reigned over Judah from Hebron for 7 years and 6 months, and from Jerusalem he reigned over all Israel and Judah for 30 years. David then led his men to Jerusalem to fight against the Jebusites, the original inhabitants of the land who were living there. The Jebusites taunted David, saying, "You'll never get in here. Even the blind and lame could keep you out." For the Jebusites thought they were safe. But David captured the fortress of Zion, which is now called the City of David. On the day of the attack, David said to his troops, "I hate those lame and blind Jebusites. Whoever attacks them should strike by going into the city through the water tunnel." This is the origin of the saying, "The blind and the lame may not enter the house." David made the fortress his home, and he called it the city of David. He extended the city, starting at the supporting terraces and working inward. And David became more and more powerful because the Lord God of heaven's armies was with him. When God is on your side, you will never fail. All right, so that's it for Samuel. We're going to move on to First Chronicles chapter 11 to 12. It says, "Then all Israel gathered before David at Hebron and told him, 'We are your own flesh and blood. In the past, even when Saul was king, you were the one who really led the forces of Israel. And the Lord your God told you, you would be the shepherd of my people Israel. You will be the leader of my people Israel.' So there at Hebron, David made a covenant before the Lord with all the elders of Israel, and they anointed him king of Israel, just as the Lord had promised through Samuel." I was like, that's a repetition, isn't it? It is. Then David and all Israel went to Jerusalem, or Jebus, as it used to be called, where the Jebusites, the original inhabitants of the land, were living. The people of Jebus taunted David, saying, "You'll never get in here." But David captured the fortress of Zion, which is now called the City of David. David had said to his troops, whoever is first to attack the Jebusites will become the commander of many armies. And Joab, the son of David's sister, Zeruiah, was first to attack. So he became the commander of David's armies. David made the fortress his home, and that is why it is called the City of David. He extended the city from the supporting terraces to surrounding areas while Joab rebuilt the rest of Jerusalem. And David became more and more powerful because the Lord of heaven's armies was with him. These are the leaders of David's mighty warriors. Together with all Israel, they decided to make David their king, just as the Lord had promised concerning Israel. Here is the record of David's mightiest warriors. The first was Josh, Jashobim, y'all are gonna have to forgive me. The Hakmonite, who was leader of the three, the mightiest warriors among David's men. He once used his spear to kill 300 enemy warriors in a single battle. Wow. Here, next in rank among the three was Eleazar, son of Dodai, a descendant of Ahoa. He was with David when the Philistines gathered for battle at Pas Damin and attacked the Israelites in a field full of barley. The Israelites' army fled, but Eleazar and David held their ground in the middle of the field and beat back the Philistines. So the Lord saved them by giving them a great victory. Once, when David was at the rock near the cave of Adullam, the Philistine army was camped in the valley of Rephaim. The three who were among the 30, an elite group among David's fighting men, went down to meet him there. And David was staying in the stronghold at the time, and the Philistine detachment had occupied the town of Bethlehem. David remarked longingly to his men, oh, how I would love some of that good water from the well by the gates in Bethlehem. So the three broke through the Philistine lines, drew some water from the well by the gates in Bethlehem, and brought it back to David. But David refused to drink it. Instead, he poured it out as an offering to the Lord. God forbid that I should drink this, he exclaimed. This water is as precious as the blood of the men who risked their lives to bring it to me. So David did not drink it. These are examples of the exploits of the three. Wow. Abishai, the brother of Joab, was the leader of the 30. He once used his spear to kill 300 enemy warriors in a single battle. It was by such feats that he became as famous as the three. Abishai was the most famous of the 30 and was their commander, though he was not one of the three. There was also Benaniah, son of Jehoiada, a valiant warrior from Kabzeel. He did many heroic deeds, which included killing two champions of Moab. Another time, on a snowy day, he chased a lion down into a pit and killed it. Once, armed only with a club, he killed an Egyptian warrior who was 7.5 feet tall, who was armed with a spear as thick as a weaver's beam. Benaniah, Benaniah wrenched the spear from the Egyptian's hand and killed him with it. Deeds like these made Benani as famous as the three mighty warriors. He was more honored than the other members of the 30, though he was not one of the three, and David made him captain of his bodyguard. David's mighty warriors also included Ashiel, Joab's brother, Elhanan, son of Dodo from Bethlehem, Shammah from Harod, Helez from Pelon, Ira, son of Ukish from Tekoa, Abiezer from Anoth, Sibekiah from Husha, Zalmon from Ahoa, Maharai from Natophah, Heled son of Bana from Natophah, Ithai son of Ribai from Gibeah, Benan Benaiah from Piroth, Uriah from Nahaligash, Abi Albon from Arabah, Zaramath from Barum, Eliabah from Shalbon, the son of Jeshen from Gizon, Jonathan son of Shagi from Harar, Ahiam son of Sharar from Harar, Eliphal from Hefer from Mikera, Ahijah from Pelon, Hezro from Carmel, Parai son of Isbai, Joel the brother of Nathan, Mibhar son of Hagri, Zelek from Amnon, Nahari from Beroth, the armor bearer of Joab son of Zariah, Ira from Jatir, Gareb from Jatir, Uriah the Hittite, Zabad son of Ahalai, Adinah son of Shiza, the Reubenites leader who had 30 men with him, Hanan son of Makkah, Josaphat from Mithna, Uzziah from Ashtroth, Shammah the Jeziel, the son of Hotham from Aror, Jadiel son of Shirmir, Joha his son from Tiz, Eliel from Mahava, Jerebiah and Josephiah, the sons of Elnam, Ith, Ithma from Moab, Eliel and Obed, Jasiel from Zobah. Whew. Chapter 12. The following men joined David at Ziklag while he was hiding from Saul, son of Kish. They were among the warriors who fought beside David in battle. All of them were expert archers, and they could shoot arrows or sling stones with their left hand as well as their right. They were all relatives of Saul from the tribe of Benjamin. Their leader was Ahaziah, son of Shema from Gibeah. His brother Joash was second in command. These were the other warriors: Jeziel and Pelet, son of Asmaveth, Berakah, Jeru from Anathoth, Ishma from Gibeon, a famous warrior and leader among the 30, Jeremiah, Jehazel, Johanan, Jozabad from Gedroth, Eluzai, Jeremoth, Beliah, Shemariah, and Sephatiah from Haruph, Elkanah, Isha, Azrael, Joezar, and Jeshobim, who were Korahites, Joelah, and Zebediah, sons of Jerome from Gedor. Some brave and experienced warriors from the tribe of Gad also defected to David while he was at the stronghold in the wilderness. They were experts with both shield and spear, as fierce as lions and as swift as deer on the mountains. Isaiah was the leader, Obadiah was second, Elib was third, Mismath was fourth, Jeremiah was fifth, Attai was sixth, El was seventh, Johanan was eighth, Elzabad was ninth, Jeremiah was 10th, Macbanai was 11th. These warriors from Gad were army commanders. The weakest among them could take on 100 regular troops, and the strongest could take on 1,000. These were the men who crossed the Jordan River during its seasonal flood at the beginning of the year and drove out all the people living in the lowlands on both the east and west banks. Others from Benjamin and Judah came to David at the stronghold. David went out to meet them and said, "If you have come in peace to help me, we are friends. But if you have come to betray me to my enemies when I am innocent, then may the God of our ancestors see it and punish you." Then the Spirit came upon Amasai, Amasai, the leader of the 30, and he said, "We are yours, David. We are we are on your side, son of Jesse. Peace and prosperity be with you, and success to all who help you. For your God is the one who helps you." David let them join him, and he made them officers over his troops. Some men from Manasseh defected from the Israelite army and joined David when he set out with the Philistines to fight against Saul. But as it turned out, the Philistine rulers refused to let David and his men go with them. After much discussion, they sent them back, for they said, "It will cost us our heads if David switches loyalties to Saul and turns against us." Here is a list of the men from Manasseh who defected to David as he was returning to Ziklag: Adnah, Jozabad, Jadiel, Michael, Jozabad, there are two of those, Elihu, Zeli, Zelithai, and Zelithai. Each commanded 1,000 troops from the tribe of Manasseh. They helped David chase down bands of raiders, for they were all brave and able warriors who became commanders in his army. Day after day, more men joined David until he had a great army, like the army of God. These are the numbers of armed warriors who joined David at Hebron. They were all eager to see David become king instead of Saul, just as the Lord had promised. For the tribe of Judah, there were 6,800 warriors armed with shields and spears. From the tribe of Simeon, there were 7,100 brave warriors. From the tribe of Levi, there were 4,600 warriors. This included Jehoadad, leader of the family of Aaron, who had 3,700 under his command. This also included Zadok, a brave young warrior with 22 members of his family who were all officers. From the tribe of Benjamin, Saul's relatives there were 3,000 warriors. Most of the men from Benjamin had remained loyal to Saul until this time. From the tribe of Ephraim, there were 20,800 brave warriors, each highly respected in his own clan. From the half tribe of Manasseh, west of the Jordan, 18,000 men were designated by name to help David become king. From the tribe of Issachar, there were 200 leaders of the tribe with their relatives. All these men understood the signs of the times and knew the best course for Israel to take. From the tribe of Zebulun, there were 50,000 skilled warriors. They were fully armed and prepared for battle and completely loyal to David. From the tribe of Naphtali, there were 1,000 officers and 37,000 warriors armed with shields and spears. From the tribe of Dan, there were 28,600 warriors, all prepared for battle. From the tribe of Asher, there were 40,000 trained warriors, all prepared for battle. From the east side of the Jordan River, where the tribes of Reuben and Gad and the half tribe of Manasseh lived, there were 120,000 troops, armed with every kind of weapon. All these men came in battle array to Hebron with the single purpose of making David the king over all Israel. He had a lot of help. In fact, everyone in Israel agreed that David should be the king. They feasted and drank with David for 3 days, for preparations had been made by their relatives for their arrival. And people from as far as Issachar, Zebulun, and Naphtali brought food on donkeys, camels, mules, and oxen. Vast supplies of flour, figs, cakes, clusters of raisins, wine, olive oil, cattle, sheep, and goats were brought to the celebration. There was great joy throughout the land of Israel. Whew. Okay, that is it for today. Don't forget, we are here till Friday from 7 a.m. EST, and we would love for you to join us on Saturday at 8 a.m. EST for the Word with Pastor Courage Molina. Bye for now.